Yeah, I mean, the problem here is that we are doing country something completely different to we've done a third wave of cases are soaring, and yet of course we're opening up, which means we're all having more contacts, and that app works. If you're in contact with somebody for longer than 15 minutes 2 meters apart, then you get pinged. So the problem is you've got hundreds of thousands of people, 350,000, more than that in England, alerts sent in England in the last week of June, and it's causing major disruption. The disruption we've had in schools, for example, is likely to shift to the workplace, and that's a particular problem in the hospitality industry, and the NHS, of course, complaining too that many of their workers are off self-isolating. Most of them, of course, will have been double vaccinated. So the question, as you say, is how do you do this? You could make it less sensitive, so you would have to be nearer to somebody. That has been done before. It was tweaked in December. The problem, though, is that you've got to be knowing that you're...
So, I feel I need to do that with the direct sample product, so the front end's not too hot for me, Dave, over.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's a way to think of it, too. Yeah, the settings are critical, I think, on a lot of radios, and I'm no expert at all that stuff. I generally go in there and I go, okay, I got to figure all this stuff out to get the best audio. You know, the flex is kind of spoiling in a sense that I can change the receive.
In the summertime, the humidity is quite high, especially around the lakes where we were camping with the RV. It takes about, for me, I'm so acclimated to...
Since Rob's been involved,
got Daryl to let us use that room.
It's a nice big auditorium with speakers and everything, and a big screen that you can pull down and show pictures.
Exactly the same. It might be, I'm not sure how big that one is, but the toroid in the middle of mine is huge. It's a huge one. It'll probably take about 4 kilowatts if I want. But anyway, it's sitting in a box behind me. Anyway, back over to you. Whiskey Golf 7, Mike, VK.
I got a little bit of breadboard. Yes, I5Z Sierra. This is Whiskey Bravo 6 Kilo Foxtrot Golf. Once again, Whiskey Bravo 6 Kilo Foxtrot Golf. Yes, that's Whiskey Bravo 6. That's 6. We're in San Diego.
Model TH4, which is pretty much on its last legs. I think it's going to have to be replaced here before.
And if I put it in your measurement again, it's 1.8 miles long, and that it is 26 corners in 1.8 miles. It rises 200 meters, or in your figures, 656 feet. And the record time for it last year, or the last time they ran it, was 2.28 minutes for going up this hill climb. There's 170 cars booked in. They leave from the starting point every 2 minutes, and they run 50 at a time, and then they close the road and bring those 50 back to the staging station at the bottom of the hill. Then they rerun the next...
Alfa Delta 7 Sierra Alfa, buenas noches. Soy de 7 Sugar Alpha. Alpha Delta C2, Sierra Alpha, buenas noches, stand by. Seco, metro, buenas noches, Alfa Delta 7, Sierra Alfa. Alfa Delta 7, Sierra Alfa. Alfa Delta 7, Sierra Alfa, muy buenas noches, stand by.
Yeah, you're right. Getting it out of the box, just trying to get it out without tearing the box off and ripping the foam and stuff like that, it was difficult. I was going, holy cow, this thing weighs a lot. As far as the 7300, you know, I have a couple.
Going up the hill, there's a hill. Move up the hill to see whether it can, go up the hill without training for quite some time.
Oh, I'm confused. Is that, say again the call sign, Mike?
Victor Kilo 3 November Golf, portable, that's Daniel. It's the last VK that checked in, over.
That would be Victor Kilo 3 November Delta Golf, Roger?
Roger.
Alpha checking out.
Alpha checking out. Stanley, what do you set your imagination to? I usually run mine about 30%, Roger.
My imagination is, 90% sometimes, over.
Roger, 90%. Thank you, Stan, for joining us tonight. 73, Roger.
Yeah, thank you, bye-bye.
Okay, we're going to any more stations wishing to call Victor Yankee 1 Charlie Oscar. Come now. PK4 Tango. Mike, would you run November Delta Golf for me?
Fine. VK3 November Delta Golf portable. Daniel, make your call now, over. Victor Yankee 1 Charlie Oscar, that's the call, over.
Victor Kilo 3 November Delta, Germany. Very, very, very light copy. The name is Scott. Sierra Charlie Oscar Tango Scott. Best we can give you is about a 4 and 1. 4 and 1. Over.
Out of 3-element 20-meter monobander at 90 feet there, and the damn thing came out to 21 dB of gain, over.
Okay, I might have to go change my drawers. I just had something happen. It never happened, and I got the tar scared out of me. W6 BBS controlling.
N6 BBS, good evening. I just came from work. I'm sorry about that, Mike.
Is this Jen?
Yes, indeed. Good evening.
Oh, good evening. You snuck in on him. You don't go wanting to be doing that. Scared the guy to death. He thought he was getting out here in plenty of time. You must have got off work early, huh?
Yeah, it's not that traffic. Mostly it's traffic and a lot of crazy going to the casino there in Coastal. Now it's a little bit okay, so I came home safe.
Oh, that's good. Anyway, good to talk to you. I'm sorry we didn't get a chance to have a very long conversation when you were over here the other day, but, we were really pressed with everybody running around like chickens with our heads cut off, trying to get that tower and that lift working. So I apologize, but at least we did get a chance to chat when you got your eggs and you saw the chickens and all that stuff. And maybe next week we'll get together. Frank and I are going to go to a ham club meeting. He hasn't told you that yet, but we're going to go to a ham club meeting tomorrow night. But maybe next week we'll get together and have dinner up at your place if the offer's still open. But that's an open thing. It's all subject to your whims and your desires. Great to hear you, Jen. Sounds good. That'll be a K6. No, what is it? N6 BBS? I forgot your call. 6 BBS, K6 MYC.
Okay, yeah, Dad, there she goes down the door. She's over there waving her hand saying goodbye. She's hungry. She just got home. She just wants to be inside. I kind of made her say hi to you because she was just going to let me know she was here and take off. Scared the tar out of me, though, because my door's open and I'm all into talking to you. And all of a sudden, this body is right in front of my face. It startled me. But yeah, she waved and she smiled. She was happy about everything you were saying there. And so I will talk to you down the band in a little bit. I'm going to go in and spend a few minutes with her. K6MYW is 6 BBS.
Okay, good night for now. Good morning from Europe. What was the call? You're pretty quick. Sorry about that. Call here is Kilowatt 6, Mike Yankee Charlie. And Frank is going to go QRT for a few minutes, so just you and me. Kilowatt 6, Mike Yankee Charlie. My name is Mike. Over.
Great big signal here into Southern California. The name is Mel, M Mexico, E Echo, L London. 9+ is your report. Sounding very good, Jordan. VK20ZI, W6 Fox Delta Radio.
Whiskey 6 Fox Delta, VK2 Oscar Zulu India. Thanks very much for the call, Mel. We may have spoken in the past. I think the call sign sounds familiar, and your signal here is 25 dB over S9. 25 dB over a big signal. And I'm located 200 kilometres north of the city of Sydney. Not too far from the city of Newcastle, probably a 50-minute drive to the east of here. But big signal from you, 5 and 9 plus 25 dB over. So big signal from you. The WX here, temperature at the moment is around about 11 degrees, and it is overcast and it's been raining for 90% of the day. So very, very wintry conditions here in the east coast of Victor Kilo 2. Using a Cushcraft X7, beaming short path obviously, and the radio here is an ICOM 7700, 400 watts, using an ICOM SM50 microphone. Very simple, the way I like it, I like to make things too complex, and it seems to work for me. So back to you, Mel, with 6 Fox Delta Radio, VK20ZI, over.
Okay, Jordan, wonderful copy. VK20ZI, W6 Fox Delta Radio. Well, the setup is doing very well. Gee whiz, what a great signal. And the quality is excellent as well. Just the kind of total response for an old guy like myself. Filling all the missing frequencies in my ears. We get older and older. So doing very well. Running here an FTDX 5000 MP, kilowatt and a half, and the antenna is a 5-element monobander. It's up 88 feet, and we are 750 feet over the sea. VK20ZI, W6 FDR.
November X-ray 2 Oscar.
Yeah, okay, Mel. 88 feet got a good takeoff straight into the ocean, the Pacific Ocean, I assume. And wow, water signal 25 over S9. So sounds like you're in a good location. I'm located a little bit inland, but I'm located in the countryside on 212 acres. And I've just moved here in the last month. So I've just put up the antenna yesterday, and before that I was just using a dipole, and I knew the location was pretty good for DX, because what I was hearing on a half-wave dipole for 20 meters was just unbelievable. So this is the real afternoon of DX. This is the first time I've really transmitted on this antenna. So with a signal like yours, I think I'm on the winner here, Mel. Anyway, nice to work you. And as I say, I think we have spoken in the past. I'm not too sure, but the call sign sounds familiar. Have a great rest of the evening, and thanks very much for the call. Whiskey 6, Fox Delta Romeo, BK2 Oscar Zulu Italy, over.
Okay, very nice, Jordan. Well, your move to that location certainly is a winner. And I have to say that I've been on the radio a long time, since 1957. And I'm 83 now, so we're just hoping to make the next peak, that's for sure. But anyway, that's how I rate things. If you ask me by experience, you know, what's important in amateur radio, I'll say it's the same as real estate. Location, location, location. Then you can go for antenna and height, and then power and rig. But that location is just so important. Yeah, we're about 8 or 10 miles in from the Pacific, but we're up on a hilltop. So the Pacific is line of sight from this location. So we do pretty well in your area. Hey, you take care, Jordan. Lots of luck. You'll have lots of fun. And I'm sure you're dying to see what else you can pull in your new location. So, well, stay safe, be happy, and enjoy radio as I have for all these years. VK2OZI, it's been a pleasure. W6 Fox Delta Radio.
Yeah, okay, no problem. Mel, and I do appreciate you coming back to my call. I was beaming towards Europe on the long path, but I'm not sure the band is very open in that direction yet. 73, have a good afternoon, or good evening. I think you're getting close to 11 o'clock in the evening. 73, all the best. Whiskey 6 Fox Delta Romeo, VK2 Oscar Zulu India, 73.
73, bye-bye, Jordan. November X-Ray 2 Oscar.
November X-Ray 2 Oscar.
Yeah, Roger, Jordan, you've got Rick in New York. Romeo India Charlie Kilo in New York, over.
Okay, November X-Ray 2 Oscar in New York. VK2 Oscar Zulu India. I'll give you a report on the next over. I think you're about 5 and 7. And my name is Jordan. Juliet Oscar, Romeo Delta, Alpha, November. I'm located 200 kilometers south of the city of Sydney. Good to hear New York. Thanks for the call. November X-Ray 2 Oscar, VK2 Oscar, Zulu India, over.
Yeah, QSL, Jordan, not the best copy. Thank you for the 5657. I have you about 5 and 5. About 5 and 5 in New York. It's awfully early. About 2 a.m. here. 2 a.m. in New York, over.
Yeah, okay. Very good on the 2 a.m. Yeah, I thought it would be pretty late there, Richard. So you're probably either getting up for work or you're just very late to bed. Hi. Using a Cushcraft X7 here, beaming short path. The radio is an ICOM 7700 and running 400 watts into the antenna. And just a simple desk mic, the ICOM SM50. Back to you, Richard. November X-ray 2 Oscar, VK 2 Oscar Zulu India. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay, very good, Jordan. I'm running an ICOM 7300. ICOM 7300, about 900 watts with an AL80B. The antenna's an NFED wire, Jordan. Over.
Wow, you're doing very well with just a wire. It was only up until yesterday I was using a dipole, so now I'm on the Yagi and I'm still talking to people on wire dipoles. Congratulations, you're doing a fantastic job all the way from the east coast of the US to the east coast of Victor Kilo 2. Local time here is 4 p.m. 4 p.m. in the afternoon Friday. So I think it's Thursday or probably Friday morning where you are. I think that's the time there in New York. I'm just having a look at your QRZ page there, and I'll take a bit of a read. But thanks very much for the call, Richard. Many stations calling. I want to wish you a good Friday. Stay safe, and I look forward to working you further down the log. November X-ray 2 Oscar, VK 2 Oscar, Zulu India, QSL.
Yeah, very fine, Jordan. Thanks for picking me up today. That's a good contact to New York to VK land. So all the best, sir. 73s, November X-ray 2 Oscar. Bye.
73. Bye-bye. Who's the Victor Echo 2?
Victor Echo 2, Alpha Mike, VECO
Over. Yeah, okay, Victor
my name is Maurice, the next phone, Alpha, Radio, Charlie Echo, Maurice, and the QTH is Montreal. Montreal is the QTH. Your report is 5 and 7. 5-7, over.
Yeah, okay, thanks 5 and 7, Maurice. You're about 5 and 7, 5 and 9 here, 57, 59. And as I was saying to Richard, I'm using an ICOM 7700. 400 watts into a Cushcraft X7 at 11 meters. So not very high off the ground, but seems to be working okay from the new QTH here. I only put the antenna up yesterday, so it seems to be performing okay at the moment on 20 meters. And good conditions to North America anyway. Back to you, Victor Echo 2 Alpha Mike, VK 2 Oscar Zulu India, go ahead.
Victor 2 Oscar from Victor Echo 2 Alpha Mexico. Thank you very much, Jordan, for the 5 and 7 report. We appreciate that. I'm running this evening here Kenwood TS590S, 590 sugar, an amplifier running 500 watts at the present time, 500 watts, and the antenna is mostly TA33 at 50 feet. TA33 at 50 feet. At present, it's 18 degrees, but it's a bit lower than that now. It's about just maybe about 15 or 16 degrees right now, and raining as well, Jordan. It's after 2 in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning here, Jordan, and it's very late to me. Thanks for coming back, and nice to meet you for the first time. And your setup is doing a very good job for you. Your X7 antenna and your ICOM radio is doing very good here into North America at this time. Thanks for the contact. 73, and hope to work with you again. VK2OZI from Victor Echo 2, Alpha, Mexico. Bye-bye.
Yeah, okay, no problem. Maurice, thanks for the contact, and I know it's getting pretty late there, so I wish you 73, and I look forward to the next contact. Victor Echo 2 Alpha Mike, VK 2 Oscar Zulu India, north of Sydney. 73s, and good morning. Bye-bye.
Certainly.
2 Oscar Zulu India, VK 2 OZI, Whiskey 7 Echo, Kilo Whiskey.
EKW, I'll copy, over. Yeah, okay, Whiskey 7 Alpha Kilo Whiskey. VK2 Oscar Zulu India. Thank you very much for the call. Name here is Jordan Juliet Oscar Romeo Delta Alpha November. Not a real strong copy, but I can hear you. 7 Alpha Kilo Whiskey. VK2 Oscar Zulu India, over.
Okay, Jordan, very good. VK2 Oscar Sydney, Whiskey 7 Echo Kilo Whiskey. My name is Echo Lima. Echo Lima. You're 5 and 7. And a pleasure to work you for the first time. So I'll put it back to you. I understand you're using a new beam and it's doing a good job for you. I'm running 100 watts. 100 watts to a simple little dipole in the garden. And that's my antenna, and my rig is the 570 Delta. The 570 Delta transceiver. Do you have a minute? I would like to ask you a question. I would just wonder, well, I can ask it right now. Do you know a fellow that's in the Sydney area there? Victor 2, Oscar Zulu. Victor Kilo 2, Oscar Zulu. Do you happen to know him? Anyway, I'll put it back to you there and see how we're doing. Victor Kilo 2, Oscar Zulu, India. Whiskey 7 Echo Kilo Whiskey, Elmer in Nevada.
Yeah, okay, I do apologise. I don't know VK20Z, but that's a pretty good call sign. But I don't know that operator, unfortunately. Your signal here is 5 and 1, 51 with a little bit of QSB, but absolutely no problem copying you 90% of the time. Local time here is 4 p.m. 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and the temperature's pretty low here, very, very winter temperatures, around about 10 degrees. I'm thinking around about 10 degrees at the moment, and it is raining outside. Thanks for the contact, L. Whiskey 7 Alpha Kilo Whiskey. VK2 Oscar Zulu India, over.
Okie doke, Jordan, very good. It's Whiskey number 7, England, Kentucky, Washington. W7 Echo Kilo. Flying business on 4 p.m. There in Sydney at the afternoon. So, anyway, thank you again for taking my call, and I'd like to QS with you if you do QSL. 7-3 now, and all the very best. VK2 Oscar Zulu India, Whiskey 7 Echo Kilo Whiskey. 7-3, my friend.
Yeah, okay, no problem. I corrected it in my logbook. And I think I have the call sign correct now. 7-3, L, thanks for the call. Whiskey 7, Echo Kilo Whiskey. BK2 Oscar Zulu India, 7-3.
7-3, my friend.
Any other DX, BK2 Oscar Zulu India, beaming North America. CQDX, CQ Delta X-ray. Victor Kilo 2, Oscar Zulu India, QRZ.
Whiskey X-ray 7, Oscar Romeo.
Whiskey X-ray 7, Oscar Radio.
Roger. You're coming in about 5x7 in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, okay, I think the name is Jeff. Very good evening to you. VK2 Oscar Zulu India. My name is Jordan Juliet Oscar Romeo Delta Alpha November. You're 5 and 4. 54. 5 and 4. Jeff, over.
Very good, very good. Can I get your call sign one more time to make sure it's correct?
Yeah, okay, the call sign is Victor Kilowatt 2, Oscar Zulu India, VK2 Oscar Zulu India, over.
Very good, very good. VK2OZI, or ZI, if I was in Britain.
Yeah, that's the English accent. Yeah, you're about 5 and 4, 54, Jeff. Using a Cushcraft X7 here, beaming to you on the short path. Using an ICOM 7700 and 400 watts. Whiskey 37 Oscar Radio, VK2 Oscar Zulu India. Go ahead.
Very good, very good. Yeah, I am using a ICOM 7300. Just operating 100 watts on a simple dipole. Yeah, not a bad contact for tonight. It seems like the band's a little bit down.
Yeah, I think the band conditions are a little bit down at the moment. But nevertheless, we've made the contact. All right, Jeff, thanks for the call. Got you in the log, and I look forward to working you again soon. Whiskey 37 Oscar Romeo, VK2 Oscar Zulu India, over.
Very good, very good. And the name was it Jordan again?
Yeah, that's right. Like the basketballer, Michael Jordan, over.
Very good, very good. Yeah, well, have a good night. Hopefully you'll make some more contact. VK2OZI 70R, 73.
73, bye-bye.
Kilo 6, Mike Romeo, India, Victoria, Kilo 7, X-ray, X-ray, VK7, X-ray, X-ray, VK7, X-ray, X-ray, this is VK6MRI, VK X-ray, X-ray, VK7, X-ray, X-ray, this is VK6MRI,
Past when they brought out those kings onto Joshua, that Joshua called for all the men of Israel. Hey, captains of the men, which went with, obeyed my commands. You that put your life on the line. Come over here, man. All names. And it came to pass when they brought out those kings onto Joshua.
To all the saints, for the hope which is laid up for you in heaven, whereof ye heard before.
Man, he had them put their foot on the neck like that. Come on, them old kings, put on their foot on the neck. Yeah, that's what you need, boy.
Gracias por llamarnos. ¿Qué nos cuentas tú, Carmela?
Bueno, yo quería hoy pedirte una canción, por favor, de Atenas, que se llama Nada puede separarte. Y por favor, si podrías bueno, yo quiero dedicarla para todos los hermanos de paz a la luz de la luna, con Pedrito de Acevedo y todos los radioescuchas que estamos ahí todas las noches con él.
Thank you, Lord. Almost right there to it.
the net, but to give them a try.
Yankee 1, Charlie Oscar. This is the Yankee 1, Charlie Oscar. Please copy Victor Kilo 4.
To bed early tonight. DK7WW in the group and 7ED.
Yeah, good morning, Larry. And 7ED with DK5RBW. Good morning, Roger. I just moved on the frequency, heard your voice with Roger in the conversation, so I don't want to hold you from your bed. I know it's quite late at night at your side, Larry. You're 5 plus, no problem, and it was really a pleasure to meet with you. And Roger as well, I haven't heard him for some time.
Manufacturers of different names and setup, you know, I mean, the real one is you go from a monobander intake, because you get the correct spacing and all the rest. Whereas if you go for multiband, then you...
There's a 15-meter net on 21.205. That's run by VK4 Tango Mike tomorrow afternoon before the 20-meter net. Thanks to the relays, like I used just about every antenna out there, and the Hansa DX net now closed. Frequency returned to normal amateur use. VK4 Juliet Tango for closing the net.
Yeah, fine, Ken. Thanks for that. Thanks for running the net today. Good one, actually. All good signals, and even the low station, we could pull them out because of the noise was fairly good. Thanks, Ken. 73. This is VK4 Juliet Tango. Just announcing that the net controller for today, KI6KKKKKK, Pleasant 73. Look forward to catching you all tomorrow. We will be tomorrow on 15 metres on 21.205, and that net control will be run by Terry, VK4 Tango Mike, and then the 20-metre net will be tomorrow afternoon at 0500 hours. We take early check-ins, and that net will be run by VK1 Tango X-ray. Thank you very much, everybody, for listening, and I won't be here tomorrow. As I said before, I've got a motorised job to do with some cars to be radio communications for them, so I'll be back on Sunday. This is VK4 Juliet Tango, please. 73 is all. 73 is mine. Yes, Terry.
Thank you, Mike. Thanks for your attentive help. KI6KFB clear, frequency return to normal amateur use. Thank you too, Terry.
Cheers, mate. Well done. Cheers, Ken. Cheers. Thanks, man.
Thanks for your help, Clem.
Mate, it's all playing radio. We get to play with our toys, okay?
Yeah, Roger. That's what I'm doing.
That's the one.
Clem, VK4 Hotel.
Hey, I got you. Ralph Waddle just dropped down, mate. I'm up at northeast, but coming down. VK4HR, VK4XCS.
And then 7DD on Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen, Larry. Wiedersehen, Larry. Good night, sleep well, and good morning, Chuck.
Yeah, good morning. I'm putting my station on for the first time after having a very large lightning strike. I'm trying to figure out if everything is still working. Over.
At least at my side, it's doing very well. I have my antenna to the west coast. Maybe I move it a little bit closer to the west. But you are trailing over 9 shots, no problem. And yeah, so nice to meet you after some time. This Delta Juliet 7 Whiskey. Name is Peter. And Roger is also on the frequency. Nice singer from Munich as well. 10 dBs over as 9 on the back scatter, Roger. So no problem at all. And I agree with Globans. They are lonely during the summer. So not much to be done there. DL5 RBW, DJ 7 Whiskey.
Yeah, okay, fine. Sorry. K1KW, good morning. Chuck, good night to you there. Well, it's been a long time since we had the last USO, and I think it was on 17 meters, where you have been pretty active some 10, 15 years ago. But well, at the moment 17 is not that good, so 20 is a good option, or a good alternative. You're about 20, 25, almost 30 over at 9 here at this end. Name is Roger, Radio Oscar Golf Echo Radio, and I'm located about 20 kilometers northeast of the Munich International Airport. I wonder whether you're using your Alan, Chuck, because I think somewhere I stumbled across the YouTube video of you testing the Anan. I wonder whether you're still using it. K1KW and the group, DL5RBW.
Okay, yeah, very good. Yeah, DL7RBW and DJ7WW. I think I got that right. Yeah, K1KW. Yeah, I'm still running the Anan 100D. I would like to get one of the 7000s, but apparently they're hard to get, and I don't know, computer chips and all the stuff that's been going on in the world these days. It's gotten really kind of crazy. So yeah, still running the Anan. And I haven't. This is the first time I've been on the air in probably almost, I don't know, a year. I just, because of this, the Chinese virus and all this crap, things have taken a toll on my family. I wound up getting it and recovered from it. And despite having the vaccinations, which is really weird, so I've been getting into my old car hobby and doing that with a lot of my friends and stuff like that, because that's a good old social distancing hobby. We get a lot of fun doing that. So, anyway, there you go. Let me turn it back to DJ7WW. Didn't want to bust in here. Like I said, I get the stuff all hooked up for the first time. I had a big thunderstorm here. 2 of the towers got hit. This is one of them. I think it's working okay. All the SWR on the antennas and everything look okay, so I think it's working. K1KW, over.
Working very well, no problem whatsoever, Chuck. And sorry to hear about the virus infection. I got my second vaccine yesterday. I hope we'll.
And if there wasn't any room, he couldn't uplift him. My son, however, could stand. Even though there was no sitting room, there was certainly standing room, in my son's opinion. So the bus driver came straight off. The father again complained, but he doesn't think NZ Bus, the company running the 741 service, is taking the complaints seriously. As the driver should be taken off the route and at the very least placed onto a different route and not allowed to continue bullying his son. RNZ was there this morning as the boy attempted to use the bus for the first time since Monday. The bus... Family's concerns and is looking forward to a positive resolution.
I cannot comment on the details of this case, however, as the investigation's still proceeding. What I can say is that we expect all staff throughout the Metlink network to treat customers fairly and with respect. Where we discover that's not the case, we'll raise the issue with our
running AM. Usually run AM up there, 72, 93, 94. But I was catching Bill and
pandemic. Among my set to jet today is Auckland woman Debbie, who's travelling to Dunedin with her husband and their 2 young children.
exciting because it's the first time I've been on an airplane for, I don't know, decades. 13-year-old son Max is also looking forward to the flight. Pretty excited. It was good to get back on plane. A short walk down the terminal, Lika is behind the counter at a coffee cart. She's had a very busy morning.
Neither, so we're still did not get through an infection or something like that. So hopefully it stays this way. But I'm a little bit concerned about this.
20 calling CQ. 20 meters calling CQ.
Hello 20 calling CQ, beaming towards VK and ZL. W8 Kilo Alpha, Southern California. Hello DX20 towards the South Pacific and standing by.
Victor Kilo 4, Florida, Ontario, over.
And nice to hear a big signal, VK4, Florida, Ontario. VK4FO, W8KA, nice signal. Q5 copy, probably 5 and 9, 5 and 8. Tuning the band, not too much coming through here this evening, but you're just coming in like gangbusters here into Southern California. Name is Frank, Foxtrot Radio Alpha November Kilo. Frank, we're in Southern California, in Ventura, about 100 kilometers north of Los Angeles, and we're just a few miles in from the ocean here. Ventura is right on the Pacific coast here. Back to you, my friend. VK4FO, W8 Kilo Alpha, over.
W8KA, this is VK4FO. Nice to meet you, Frank. My name is Gordon, Germany Ocean Radio, Denmark Ocean, Norway. Thank you for the 5 and 8. On my Kenwood 990, you're 20 dB over S9. It's one hell of a signal. There's not much on the band here at the moment, Frank. But, man, when I look at my meter here, you're really doing the job. Anyway, getting a little bit late in the afternoon. It's about 4:30 p.m. And we're in the middle of winter. It's pretty cool. It's maybe about 20 degrees, something like that. Located about 50 kilometers north of Brisbane, right on the coast. And I got a pretty good takeoff in your direction. I'm looking across my band scope at the moment, and there's nothing there. Only you. Whatever you got going at your end, Frank, it's certainly so doing the job on my side. W8KA, this is VK4FO, over.
Oh, very fine, Gordon. Well, you're 5.9 plus 10 here. Look at the S meter here, so you're booming in here too. So we're bouncing off on the right stuff between us, Gordon. Very fine. And nice to work you for the first time there, north of Brisbane there. Yeah, no kidding. You're 5.9, peaking plus about 10 here into Ventura, California. And not a whole lot of signals coming through here this evening here. So that's the story. Well, we're in summertime here. We're having hot summer here in Southern California. You know, in the 90s, I guess. It's cooling down here now. That's nice being in Ventura. We're just about 5 miles in from the ocean here, so we get the nice cool ocean breezes. A beautiful asset of living in Ventura here. So that's the story here, Gordon. Running an old radio here, an FT1000 Delta, 2002 vintage Yaesu radio. Henry amplifier, about 1400 watts on peaks. 4-element quad pointed your way at 17 meters. That's the working conditions. Back to you there, my friend. VK4FO. W8 Kilo Alpha, Southern Cal, take it away.
Yeah, Roger, Frank. W8KA, this is VK for you. Yeah, you're really pounding it here, Frank. You're really pounding it here. Best signal I've heard for a long time. Yeah, my gear is a Kenwood exciter, a solid state second stage, and a 4-element monoband Yagi beam at about 60 feet. So that's the drill this way. Things in VK4 aren't all that bad. Some of the other states are struggling a little bit with this virus problem. But here, we don't have to do too much at all. Just wear a mask when we're out and about, and basically go where we like and so on. But some of the others are actually locked down, which isn't a very pleasant experience. I don't know how your road rules go, Frank. But I noticed today on one of the bulletins that I get that in this state, if you're using a mobile phone, even if it's switched off but you have it in your hand, then there's an instant fine of $1,000, and you lose some of your points. And the problem is that everybody seems to ignore it. Just driving around the area, I see lots of people with a mobile phone at their ear, but I'll tell you what, at $1,000 a hit, you're going to learn your lesson very quickly, Frank, over.
Well, I think that's probably a good thing, Gordon. I have a cell phone here, but I'm an old guy here. I'm almost 70 years old. So I keep one with me for emergency purposes, but I'm not like young people that are constantly on it. And I go walking around here during the day in the city here, get a little exercise in, and I'm very careful how I cross the streets. These young people here, young adults, teenagers, the cell phone seems to be more important than their attention to the road, over.
I know exactly what you mean. Well, I'm older than you. And, yeah, I have a cell phone in my pocket when I'm out and about for exactly the same reason, Frank. But, I mean, most modern vehicles have some sort of a hands-free setup, so that if it does, if somebody does want you, or there's a problem or whatever, you push a button on your steering wheel and you can talk to them without worrying too much about getting the phone out of your pocket. But yeah, apparently when they started to crack down on them, people stopped actually putting them up to their ear. They started texting on these things, and now they've installed all over this state. They've installed remote cameras to specifically sort of sight this type of operation on overpasses and this sort of stuff, and on the side of the road as well. These cameras can look right into your car. So if you're texting and you've got one of these things on your lap, then basically you're gone. Anyway, that's how it is. That's how it is here at the moment. I'm living in town. The last 30 years I had a farm just outside town, but I got a little bit too old to lift 6-foot tractor tyres and all sort of stuff. So I moved into town on about 1 acre. Frank, it's a fairly quiet area. I've got a tower up in my backyard and a few wire antennas as well. But the for the last 40 years, 20 metres has been my preferred band, and I still use it. So that's the story here. W8KA from VK4FO, over.
VK4FO, W8 Kilo Alpha returning. Solid copy, Gordon. Well, you still sound like you're on the farm there with a rhombic high pointed my way, booming in here this evening. Very fine. Well, it's a sad commentary on society. You know, I'm sorry, there's got to be cameras all over the place, you know, to watch people. And we have cameras here, the intersections here. If you run a red light, you get a ticket in the mail at busy intersections. But I don't know, it's just you think people would be more responsible. Like I said, I go walking around as an old fella, and even though you press the button and the crosswalk says walk, you better look, because there's someone in a hurry and they're not paying attention to what they're doing because they're texting on their cell phone and they'll run you over. And that's just the way it is. We got a whole generations and generations of people up here that haven't been taught about the privilege of driving. It's a privilege. It's not a guarantee that you know somebody over.
No, exactly what you mean. Exactly what you mean. Well, I don't get into town all that often. We're out of town here, and it's usually for a specific reason. And it's normally to a shopping centre car park, and it's a little bit hard to get run over in there. So, yeah, that's the way I operate these days, Frank. Okay, well, time marches on. I heard you calling. You're such an outstanding signal. Best signal I've heard in quite a while. Solid at 20 over 9. And not changing, and very, very easy copy, beautiful audio, and this is probably about as good as it gets, Frank. So it's been my pleasure. I'm on most afternoon about this time, so I hope we get the opportunity to work again, but it's been great to work today, Frank. 73 from near Brisbane. And look forward to working you again. W8KA, this is VK4FO. Bye for yours, and I'll be off and gone, Frank, over.
Okay, Gordon, very fine. Well, solid copy again. We're bouncing off the right stuff. Excellent armchair copy. Fantastic QSU. And just booming in here likewise. So very fine. I know the band is open some evenings here, but it's not a whole lot of activity like the old days. It's just I don't know. We just got to get on here and check it out for ourselves. Hi. Anyway, stay safe down there. We're through the mask here pretty much. You don't have to wear a mask out in public, but there's still some people wearing masks in the markets and everything. But it's starting to open up here. Which is a good thing. But not totally free here of all the COVID stuff here. So, but let's hope for the best there, Gordon. 73, my friend. I'll look for you again, and give me a call if you hear me. 73, stay safe. Have a good evening. VK4, Foxtrot Ocean, W8 Kilo Alpha, Southern California. Take care. Stay safe.
Yeah, 73, Frank. Stay safe.
Cheers, my friend.
Mexico.
Kilo Bravo 7, Lima Mike Tango.
Any other VKs, ZLs beaming the South Pacific, Whiskey 8 Kilo Alpha. Beaming VK and ZL, W8 Kilo Alpha, QRZ. calling CQ, hello 20 meters. W8 Kilo Alpha calling CQ and standing by.
I wouldn't put everything too far. At least leave something so you can monitor the bands a little bit and keep an ear on it, because I think you'll find we're going to see some improvement. It's gradually getting there, but it's not going to be major. I just don't think it's going to be major improvement. But, it could be mental improvement. Everybody thinks that it's going to improve. It might create more activity, even though the conditions aren't supporting that philosophy. The human race can be talked into stuff, and of course that's an attitude thing. You get more people on, you got more interest, and even though the bands aren't any better, at least you got somebody more to chat with. I think that may happen. That's more likely than having the bands come back to life and just be magic again. I don't think that's going to happen on anything but a very irregular basis. Good night, Arch. Good to hear your voice. Thank you. AH6 United, K6MYC, clear. Bye-bye.
Okay, Mike, thank you much, and good hearing you as well, and say be careful, watch them fires. AH6U clear.
Boy, I'll say, it's going to be 115 here tomorrow and the next day, so we are fire hazard city. I've only had 8 inches of rain since May 2020.
BBS. Feel bad it hasn't rained here since May.
Huh? I'm talking 2020.
Yeah, I know, but it's a little unusual for around here. Everything's dying.
I hear the brake. Stand by.
It's ripe. Hopefully nothing will happen. Okay, Mike, 73 and Aloha. AH6U clear.
Aloha. Now, who was the brake?
Hello, Mike. W6BBS.
Okay, 3 or 4. Good evening again, Frank. We gave it away with Volker and everybody because the fan was just in terrible condition, and we had 6 QSOs on this frequency. They're still going. Okay.
Yeah, it's this one guy. So I think he's been talking to himself the whole time. I didn't know if he's trying to interfere with you or what, but I hear him, but he doesn't even come close to covering you up. Anyways, spent a little bit of time with Jen. Just got back out. I think I heard you say you're shutting down, so I just figured I'd say good night and sleep well, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, well, we had a couple of breakers. I thought I'd give those guys a quick report. I think it's a BK or 2, but let's see who it is, and we'll give them quick reports. I was quite surprised to hear Arch because I knew he was tearing his station down and disappointed in the poor band conditions and just losing interest. It's a shame, but anyway, it was good to hear him, and he asked me a question. You heard the answers. Let's see, was there a couple of breaks? Kilowatt 6 Mike Yankee Charlie with W6BBS standing by.
K6 Mike Yankee Charlie from BK3 Golf Mike Oscar. Do you copy, Mike?
Yes, I do. BK3 GMO K6MYC. Can't remember the handle, but I remember the call. And good evening. Not real strong, but you're above the noise anyway, so that's helpful. VK3 GMO, and then you can turn it back to Frank, W6 Bravo Sierra. He lives about 15 miles north of me. I'm sure you'll hear him. Not sure where he was pointed at the moment, but we were working Europe together earlier, so maybe he has not brought the antenna to the Pacific yet. VK3 GMO for a quick K6MYC.
Yeah, K6MYC, VK3 GMO returning. Very good, Mike. The handle's Jeff, Juliet Echo, Foxtrot. We spoke a few days ago when I was up in the country, back at the home QTH today. Talking to you on the FT101 into the Ameritron and the Tuolumne Yagi. All good. You're bouncing between S5 and 20 over, so there's a fair bit of fanning, but you're certainly very copyable as you usually are.
All the best. I won't keep it any longer, Mike. Good to hear you. I'll look forward to having a longer chat next time. W6 BBS in the group, VK3 GMO.
VK3 GMO, W6BBS. You're a solid 5'9", just blasting in here, Jeffrey, not a problem at all. 5'9" into Central California, another name is Frank. I just about 15 miles north of Mike, and 4-element mono bander running 1,500 watts. So 73, and have a great evening.
Cheers, thanks, Frank. All the best to you.
5'9" plus 10 to 15 here, Jeff. Good signal. Very nice copy. 73.
73 is Mike. Thank you.
You bet, Jeff. Okay, and I am going to hit the sack, Frank. And we'll see you tomorrow, one way or the other. And probably closer to 6 o'clock when we see you. Don't sweat the other part of it. I'll poke around on it and maybe have some thoughts for something to do that we could attack quickly. But right now my thoughts are jumbled, and I don't want to get you down here and then stumble around in the dark. We've got to get the right equipment. I really need. I'll call the plant in the morning. My new contactor came in, or will be in tomorrow, they said. Lee called me from the plant and said he's got the contactor and they should have it tomorrow. And our engineer, Scott, I don't know if you met Scott or not. You may have not met him yet. But he said he would come out and put the contactor in, but I think he just wants to come by. He's living up in Oakhurst, so he drives close to here anyway. So he'll bring the contactor from work up here, and then if he gets a chance to put it in, that's fine. I'll let him do that, and you don't have to get tangled up in that, but I'm sure you could do it. If he doesn't have time or doesn't want to do it or runs into a bind, then I'll save it for you, for what it's worth. So much for that. That's the contactor information. I forgot to tell you that earlier. That came midday after you had left. 7-3. We'll see you tomorrow, one way or the other. W6BBS, K6MYC, clear but listening.
Okay, very good, Mike. You have a good evening. Get some rest. Excuse me. There comes that sneaky cough. Pops in now and again. I will see you tomorrow, and I'm going to shut it down too, but before I do, I did hear one other VK, I think it was, in there trying to break in, so I'll give you a signal report, and then I got to go QRT as well. So this is Whiskey 6 Bravo Sierra. Go ahead.
Kilowatt 2 Delta, Alpha Tango VK 2 Delta, Alpha Tango
Okay, VK2 Delta Alpha Tango, Whiskey 6 Bravo Sierra, solid 5'9" plus 10 into Central California.
Thanks for 5'9" plus 10 here, good 5'9" plus, yeah, a little bit in the red there. Probably over 5 dB, it's hard to say on this radio. Name is Arthur, Alpha Romeo Tango Uniform Romeo, QDHS. But good signal here. I tried normally long past Europe around this time, but with absolutely nothing there. I heard something, but very, very poor. Very, very poor. But you're pretty strong. So okay.
Solid 5'9" plus 10 into Central California, and we have similar locations. We're about 15 miles apart, Mike, K6MYC, and myself.
Oliver the Town, and the only time I get in there is if I'm going to a shopping centre, and I'm pretty careful what I do. I don't think I need it, but there's very few cases, and here we're pretty safe. I hope it's the same at your place, Doug. KV7LMT from VK4FO.
Okay, fine business, Gordon. VK4FO, KB7LT. Yeah, beautiful.
It's vital they have confidence and trust in the system, that their response, that their complaints are dealt with promptly and meaningfully, and they know the result. Here we understand over 70% of children who complain aren't informed of the outcome. How does that build any confidence in the system?
Kelvin Davis told RNZ political reporter Miriana Johnson Oranga Tamariki's failure to inform young people of the outcome of their complaints isn't good enough.
There's a number of things that I'm not happy about with in terms of Oranga Tamariki's actions. I think it's important that children and their whānau are informed of the outcomes of any investigations. I think that's just the right thing to do.
Have you had any assurances that improvements are being made to that complaint system and informing whānau and tamariki?
I think there are a lot of things that we're looking at in terms of the performance of Oranga Tamariki. That is one of them. But it's all going to take a little bit of time to get to the bottom of everything. But I'm adamant that there are going to be big changes in Oranga Tamariki.
Let's focus on politics. I'm Katie Sculpture. Thanks for joining us. Ma te wā.
Kia ora, Katie. And Focus on Politics gets a repeat broadcast late on Saturday afternoon, or you can hear it all new after the news at 6:30 headlines next Friday on RNZ National. Now, still to come, what we, after the news, and a sonic tonic dedicated to rainbows because it's the 35th anniversary of the passing of the homosexual law reform bill in this country. Ahead of that, for the rest of this half hour, something which has been getting a lot of hits on the website. Anna Sale started talking about
sur quelle fréquence j'ai appris, mais c'est pas grave. Attends, on va regarder.
0.27. You said you're 12 meters away from the antenna. I'm a little something is beeping. Have to stop it. So I'm not sure. I think I'm
answer or a life hack to solve a problem, and how they got through those times of uncertainty and transition. And so I started a podcast called Not Fixed and Money. That was sort of the idea. And then when you have a show that's all about talking about moments in life that are tricky and hard, I guess over 7 years you get better at talking about hard things.
What form, being a senior political reporter, and it's hard enough to get questions out of New Zealand politicians and back in the US, it's very tough, isn't it?
Yeah, and I became really frustrated because I thought, why are we talking about polls and, playing sound bites of politicians where they're saying one thing when we know that they're thinking another thing, but we just sort of played along and let them perform their role as politician instead of really pushing them to give us real answers.
Well, forward quick example, and also the other aspect you mentioned is in your own life. You're quite honest about the breakdown of your first marriage, and it provides an illustration which I think
he loves. If God so loves, what about God's degree? That's a power that comes from the Spirit of God. Where do we like to live? God loves so much that he gave. How much will he grieve? Eliminate from our vocabulary. Can you picture the grief of God?
Clarity that something is not actually resolvable, that it leads you to the clarity to accept, okay, the relationship has gone as far as it needs to go, and we decided to end that marriage. And it really gave me sort of a sense about life, about, you know, hard conversations. The reason to have them is not because you're going to be able to fix whatever is causing you anxiety or grief or tension, but instead what it does allow you to do is to describe to one another what you're experiencing, to compare notes, and sometimes that means that you can support each other and help each other and just be alongside each other, and sometimes it means you can realize, okay, like, I'm not the person to do this with you. Which is where I got to with my ex-husband. Like, you want to have a different kind of life than I want to have. And when we decided to divorce, it was very sad, but I have no doubt it was absolutely the right choice for both of us.
You write in the book, one of the things that people ask you a lot is, how do you get people to open up? How do you get them to talk about such personal things? And a lot of it is the spirit of that kind of listening. It's like when you feel listened to, it's an apparent experience. Can we talk a little bit about that, the notion of listening? Because it's people think they can do it. It's actually quite a skill, isn't it?
Yeah. And people often think when you say, well, let's have a hard
Himalaya by searching for Special English.
Oh yeah.
其实并不难 ，It can be fun。
欢乐。
台湾海峡呢，也是1.5米以下的新到。
7380。
南海的北部和北湖湾都是。
集体主义、社会主义思想的集中体现，是中国精神。7395, 11.650 und 11.775 kHz sowie von
qui veut louer la chambre, de quel service il a besoin, service 服务,你需要什么服务? Et la personne qui veut louer la chambre dit je voudrais être réveillé à 7h du matin, j'ai besoin du service qui va me réveiller, donc Tiao Xing Fu.
Très bien. Alors avant de quitter l'hôtel, on doit payer pour la réservation.
Certains hôtels demandent de payer avant 11h du matin et midi pour d'autres. Alors quand doit-on...
我在积极点评的同时，还致力于。
Pour cantar
در حلقه مناجاتیان تا حلقه خرابات تا دانشگاه شعرش و آفریدش‌های نیکش ناشناخته باشد. اگر ما به تاریخ ادبیات فارسی سر بزنیم با بزرگان هم برمیخوریم. در هر ساعت صدها بیت
challenges na biye shine kaman zamani ana amfani da machine.
Cet endroit, ça ne pourrait pas être les enfants, alors une seule alternative.
Incredible person. I mean, she started in aviation over 60 years ago. In 1961, she was just 21 years old. She was the youngest of the bunch, and she participated in what in the 90s was later coined the quote-unquote Mercury 13, which was this small group of women that the NASA physician was outside of NASA running the same medical and physical tests on them that he was running on the actual Mercury NASA astronauts to see, can these women handle it? Can they, pass these same medical physical tests? And they really, really excelled. And Wally, chief among them, I mean, they did this sensory deprivation test during these experiments. And Wally lasted, I think it was over 10 and a half hours in a sensory deprivation tank. She lasted so long that the people running the study actually had to shut it down. She really made a pretty big splash in early space flight. And over the last 60 years, I mean, she's spent thousands of hours as an aviator, flying every different type of vehicle. She's been, an aviation teacher. I mean, she's really done it all except finally get to space. And so I think it's going to be so rewarding and so fulfilling, and it's going to be really a full...
The cracks, which is where they take shelter. Tarifa is home to 44 fishing boats, and they are in danger of disappearing. They arrive at ports with nets filled.
سازان است که برای ارائه فیلم‌های کوتاه و جلسات گفتگو معرفی شده.
من ساناز کاملزاده هستم، خبرنگار ایران. شما بعد دوشنبه خیلی سیستم شما بیمانه تازه ترین تحولات ایران و جهان را History, Catherine Switzer, Olga Kohl.
I mean, that was the moment. That was the pinnacle. That was you reaching that Mount Everest.
Join me as I celebrate some of the sporting heroines of history.
Tuesday at 8.
Çalışmalar dileyelim sizlere de. Strateji ve güvenlik uzmanı Yusuf Alabar'da konuğumuzdu. Yeni günün sonu.
على ذلك ثم يؤكده من خلال البيعة التي تعني إعطاءه الميثاق. سنحدثك مستمع الكريم عن هذه الفقرة ولكن من خلال لقائنا
and I keep my word, God says. That's the reason why we're here. Come on.
Cewa noma zai yi wuya bana in ji mazauna birnin gwari da cikun don illar yan bin.
A new kind of I won't go punches there. That's all I get anything.
That's en route. On Hardwood to the news.
BBC News. Hello, this is Jerry Smith. Security forces in Haiti say the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse was executed by a 28-strong unit of mainly Colombian former soldiers. 17 suspected mercenaries were paraded before journalists late on Thursday, along with Colombian passports, assault rifles and communications equipment. The chief of police said 3 others had been killed and 8 remained on the run. Candice Piatz reports.
Police acted fast to find the killers. They were traced to a house near the presidential residence, and most have now been either killed or captured. The police chief said 8 were still on the run. Foreigners may have pulled the triggers, but it's not yet known who planned the attack. The acting Prime Minister, Claude Joseph, has said he believed President Moïse had fallen foul of Haiti's oligarchs. The president's security detail is also being investigated. Mr. Joseph has called for life to return to normal, urging shops and businesses to reopen, along with the international airport.
Police in Venezuela have closed off roads in the capital Caracas amid raging gun battles between security forces and armed groups. The authorities are offering rewards of up to $500,000 for criminal bosses fighting to expand their territory. Charles Haviland has the details.
People in parts of Caracas are already reeling under hyperinflation and extreme poverty. Now, more and more feel gang violence closing in on their lives as heavily armed criminal groups move outwards from the slums and fight the security forces. In one area, Cota 905, the opposition is blaming the government for an earlier non-aggression pact that they say has let bandits build up weapons stocks. The socialist government, in turn, says right-wing elements back the criminals. On the ground, at least 4 civilians, possibly more, are dead, while soup kitchens can't function properly and children are traumatized.
South Sudan is marking the 10th anniversary of its independence with little fanfare. Its population advised to celebrate at home because of coronavirus, and the only official event, a 10-kilometer run in the capital, Juba. President Salva Kiir has blamed international sanctions for his country's dire straits. Its economy become by 5 years of conflict. Peter Ajak, a youth activist now living in exile, strongly criticized the leadership of
Salva et l'église adventiste qui s'appelait chaque enfant partout à l'école. Et donc c'est
Hoca 1208 yılında eski
Situation extrêmement tendue à Port-au-Prince où la population appelait hier au lundi.
İmamı Abdullah Efendi'dir. İlk eğitimini onun yanında alır.
هدف بشوفينا وسردانا قلتي قهاندكن أنا مثلا بمجانا ما تمرضان ما ترجنان فيمانا سمولي أزادية أول وقتك إداج
종래 75%에서 90%로 늘렸습니다. 성추행 피해 공군 부사관 사망 사건을 수사해온 국방부 합동수사단이 9일 중간 수사 결과를 발표했습니다. 홍진아 기자가 보도합니다.
국방부 합동수사단이 수사에 착수한 지 한 달여 만에 중간 수사 결과를 발표했습니다. 합수단은 고 이중사가 선임 부사관으로부터 성추행을 당한 뒤 여러 차례 신고했지만 군으로부터 제대로 보호받지
gezogen, hier an den Fluss zu kommen. Und als wir ankamen, war es zu spät. Hast du allein mit den Kindern die lange Reise gemacht? Nein, ich war nicht allein. Mein Gott war mit uns. Bei dem Herrn sind Auswege aus dem Tod. Er ist mächtig, uns auch jetzt zu retten. Der Soldat blickt Gladys ernst und verwundert an. Du bist eine Christin und gar keine Chinesin? Wie kommst du zu... Als wir ankamen, war es zu spät. Hast du allein mit den Kindern die lange Reise gemacht? Nein, ich...
Solomon Islands
police says a Land Cruiser was being chased by police outside the capital, Honiara, for dangerous driving. The police say there were parked vehicles and a car on the main bridge, so the chased driver chose to use an old bridge where a group was fundraising. After ploughing into the crowd, the driver fled, but has now been arrested. Superintendent Edwin Savoy is urging people to avoid taking the law into their own hands and to let police take charge. People under 25 in the US wanting jobs with top companies can now use a novel method to apply, submitting a short video of themselves rather than a traditional CV. The pilot project, running till the end of this month, has been launched by TikTok. The BBC's James Clayton has more.
They've teamed up with a load of American companies, Target, Chipotle, Shopify, Meredith, NASCAR, and essentially you can make a TikTok video, try and sell yourself, and then you can hashtag TikTok resume, upload that video and see whether those companies like you. You can make an interaction and potentially get a job at those companies. But I think there's probably something in this. A lot of these particular companies like NASCAR, WWE, well, they're in the entertainment business. And so if you can prove that you're entertaining in a video, then that's probably better than just saying you're entertaining and writing.
And finally, New Zealand's largest airport is having its busiest day since March last year, when the COVID-19 pandemic brought travel screeching to a halt. 28,000 people are expected to stream through Auckland Airport's domestic terminal by the end of Friday, on the last day of school before the 2-week holiday break. Parvesh Rawat, who works at Air-Go convenience store at the airport, says Friday has been busy and there are likely to be even more people on Saturday. He expects sales to bump up by about 20% during the holiday school period. And that's the latest news from RNZ Pacific. Lisa Mbulavinaka, you're listening to Pacific Waves from RNZ Pacific. I'm Koroy Hawkins. Coming up first.
It's a crucial time for New Caledonia. The French government unilaterally has set the date of 12th of December this year for the next referendum.
New Caledonia has elected its first pro-independence Kanak president.
Well, we've had 10 people come up there in our hospitals in less than a week, less than a working week even.
Concern in Fiji as COVID deaths accelerate.
We vote these community leaders and we vote, and the only time we see them are during elections.
And Tongan youth in Mangere accuse a local board of turning a blind eye to a spike in crime. New Caledonia has elected its first pro-independence Kanak president. Louis Mapu was elected on Thursday in Noumea after months of negotiations between the two main pro-independent political groupings. He had the first pro-independence government in the French territory since the Noumea Accord of 1998. To help unpack this, I'm joined by Nick McClellan, an expert on New Caledonian politics who writes about the territory for Islands Business. Welcome, Nick. So how significant is this presidential election result?
For the first time in nearly 40 years, the government of New Caledonia will be led by a Kanak independence leader, particularly since the signing of the Noumea Accord, a framework that governs New Caledonia's politics, in 1998. Governments of New Caledonia have been led by an anti-independence leader. These governments are chosen out of the Congress, depending on the balance of forces within the Congress. And for the last period, there has been a majority of anti-independence members of government, 7-4 in the 11-member government, or 6-5, and that majority has chosen an anti-independence president. First time, the independence movement has the numbers in the government. They have 6 out of 11 members, and thus they have chosen Louis Mapu as president.
Let's talk about what's happened.
What do we know about Louis Mapu?
Mapu is a long-time independence activist in the southern province, where Noumea is based. He's a member of the Party of Kanak Liberation, Palika, which within the Congress is part of the UNI, the National Union for Independence parliamentary group. He's been a leading public figure in the independence movement for many years in the South, and is a fairly key player within the FLNKS, the umbrella body that unites a number of different parties. That's led to some internal rivalries between Palika, his party, and the other main independence, Union Caledonienne. Both parties gained 3 seats each in the new government that was elected in April this year, and since then there's been a month-long tussle over who would win the presidency.
Yes, I was just going to say, this is the fifth attempt, isn't it, that has now been successful.
There's been a series of meetings convened by the French High Commissioner, and there's basically been a deadlock between Union Caledonienne and UNI, these two pro-independence parliamentary groups, over who would take the leadership position. In recent weeks, there's been a lot of dialogue, indeed heated debate, between the two major pro-independence parties, and in some ways there's a Melanesian consensus come together that the parties will take a number of different steps. What's striking is that the alternative candidate proposed by Union Caledonienne, a businessman named Samuel Nepone, has announced that he will step down from the government. He's one of 6 elected members in favour of independence. That's broken the logjam. It's also opened the way for a small Wallisian party, possibly, to put a candidate in the government. That would not only, maintain this majority of islanders within the government, it would also open the way for the election of a pro-independent Speaker of the National Congress. The current Speaker, Roch Womiton, is a leading member of the Pro-Independence Party, PUC. He's up for re-election later this month, and it looks like this consensus that's brought Mapu to the head of the government will also involve change within the Congress and within the provincial assemblies.
But isn't that what triggered the whole thing in the last time when ministers resigned? Doesn't that trigger a return to the start line?
If ministers resign from the government, they be replaced by a member of their own party. So the next in line on the parliamentary list from that parliamentary group would take up a position. But, and at the moment, PVOCN are part of a group. So they would move into the government most likely, although who can predict with New Caledonian politics? If, however, the list doesn't nominate a successor, then the government falls, and that's what happened with Governor under Thierry Sonta. But the key point about Mapu's election is that it's the first time in nearly 40 years that a pro-independence Kanak leader has taken the presidency of New Caledonia.
And his election also significant in terms of New Caledonia's decolonisation journey, isn't it?
It's a crucial time for New Caledonia. The French government unilaterally has set the date of 12th of December this year for the next referendum on self-determination. Obviously, the president is an important thing in terms of setting the government's agenda, in terms of liaising with the French government. Mapu will be a participant in the Pacific Islands Forum meeting, which will be coming up soon, rather than his predecessor, Thierry Sonta, and one would presume that Mapu will be asking the for more active engagement in the decolonisation process and monitoring of the referendum in December. It's a crucial position in any government, and will set the tone for actions. There are also crucial domestic issues around the budget, around the economy, around the response to the COVID pandemic. So this is a significant change. It's taken some months to come together, but President Mapu will be taking the reins of office in coming days.
There are concerns in Fiji that the rate of people dying from COVID-19 is slowly accelerating. The country has confirmed over 40 deaths from the virus. All but a handful of them have occurred during the current outbreak, which started in April, and 10 have been recorded in the last week alone. Joining me from Suva is our correspondent, Lide Movono. Bula, and welcome, Lide. So, some worrying trends emerging here.
That's right, Corey. The death toll is now at 40.
As of last night, we've had 42 deaths, and 40 of them have been from this outbreak alone, which is a very short time frame if you look at it carefully. It's just over 2 months. But just 4 days ago, I was reporting that we've had 30 cases. So we've had 10 people turn up in our hospital in less than a week, less than a working week even. So that's pretty dramatic and pretty scary. And the circumstances surrounding those deaths are all still very consistent. People are turning up dead on arrival, or people are turning up at our health facilities very close to death, and thereby passing away within the day, within hours of arriving. So it's a pretty worrying trend, Troy.
Yes, and also... まだもうですね、立ち合いから必死に突っ張りましたけれども、もうそれをもうものともせず、どんどん
wanted to return to their islands, either to Vanuatu, our second largest island, or some of our other smaller islands.
And you're in Milwaukee or Wisconsin.
ノイズがものすごく入るんですよ。バッテリー動くときね、すごかったですよ。もうなんていうかね、ジャーッと入っても全然無かったですけど、
They let them roam on the streets, and then they're bashing the police force here, the law enforcement. And, I know you've seen it on TV, so I don't know how anybody can expect to have a civil society when you don't have some form of law enforcement, and it's just... I'm paying the taxes. It's government people that don't understand who's paying the bill. I guess that was liters. It's going to go past $5 a gallon here this summer. Might even go up to $6. We'll have to watch it. But it always goes up during the summer. So, it's $5 a U.S. gallon more. It'll be more than that. Here's my parting shot, Rod, and then I'll let you go have your tea. Did you ever hear of a fella? He recently passed away. He was one of my heroes. I'll probably make some enemies saying it. Did you ever hear of Rush Limbaugh? He was a radio commentator. He had his own show. You know about Rush? Yeah, he was a great guy, but he died recently, lung cancer. But he said it all 30 years ago. You know what he said 30 years ago? Yeah, what he said, the dumbing down of America. That's where we are. That's where we are today because of the dumbing down of America. Over. Yeah, he had it all right. I mean, they've dumbed down everybody in this country, so they just believe whatever they're told. We're a bunch of mushrooms here. Over.
Godly man with his campaign contributions and all that, and we could have another discussion about all that, but yeah, anyway, my friend, we'll let you go get your tea, but you know where I stand. I'm an old guy, probably only have another 10 years to go, so I'm gonna start speaking up. I'm totally disgusted. Totally disgusted. Anyway, with that, my friend, 73, hope you get some sunshine down there. VK7RG, W8 Kilo Alpha. Take care. What's the end of these men like Pat Robertson and Jimmy Swaggart and the Pope? God hates them. What is destruction? Their glory is in their very shame. And their God is their belly. Cast your veil upon a woman with child, they shall not. Have you seen the word destruction there? And to you who are troubled, rest with them. Are you troubled? I am.
You're listening to the Overcomer Ministry in Walterboro, South Carolina, where the coming of Jesus Christ is preached 24 hours a day throughout the entire world. Our prayer request line is 843-701-5053. That's 843-701. Overcomer Ministry in Walterboro, South Carolina, where the coming of Jesus Christ is preached.
These children are badly influenced, therefore we can justify their behavior based on what goes on around them. But where were the video games and the internet in the days of Cain and Abel? Evil is born in the heart. The child is evil. Evil will manifest itself. So I thought, we seldom talk about Eve in a positive light because look at what she did, the fine mess she got us into. But I'd urge you to look at Eve as the first mother and look at the grief of this mother and really pay attention to the fact that if we could even wrap our minds around the fact that they are now expelled, they are thrown out of the garden, but now we also have the fact that this mother, who it's really not disclosed, we must read between the lines, the heartache that she must have had for what went wrong.
My name and my CPA here is north of Tokyo, about 50 miles due north of Tokyo area. Well, this will be quite a bad day. Well, cloudy all day long, and we once in a while we had some rain, and your signal was 5 and 8, and now you're 5 and 9 plus. Whiskey 8, Kilo Alpha, JA20X5, active. Okay, Manuro. Very fine, nice to see you again. Yeah, I was pointed towards VK and ZL, and just beaming the South Pacific. And you're 5 and 8 with me here now, armchair copy. So nice to see you again, Manuro. And just playing late night radio here. So not a whole lot of activity here tonight on 20, but the guys with the good antennas get through, so I guess you got a good antenna there. So same setup here. We had a QSO there May 18th, I see. Here on 20 sideband, so all is well here. We're staying safe and hot in Southern California here. Hot and dry in the 90s, no rain. And it's going to be a hot summer. Over. Okay, Frank. Well, I opened my love book here. A few.
That's a little picture of God's grace to us as fallen creatures.
Somebody sent me this morning.